Hey guys, welcome to another robotics video. This is for programming challenge 3. First thing you need to do is find your file, just like we did in the other two files. You need to go to this PC on your desktop, then go to your network location, find your student ID number, double click on that, find the My Robotics folder, double click on that, find the graphical RobotC programming challenges files folder, double click on that, and here we have the files that we've gotten so far. So notice we have challenge 2 completed. It was the same file as challenge 1. We just renamed it after we did some other things to it. So now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use the challenge 2 file for the challenge 3 problem, and then we'll save it as challenge 3. Okay, so all you need to do is double click on challenge 2. It'll open up the program and we'll be ready to go. All right, now it's open. Now we've got 3 errors. Now, if you remember from the last video or the last 2 videos, there's some things you need to check at the beginning of each challenge. Every time you pretty much open up RobotC, you need to check this. Now, if you remember, what I said you need to do is come up to Robot, and we need to check, is the communication mode USB only? In this instance, yes. Is the compiler target physical robot? Yes. Is the platform type VEX 2.0 or Cortex? Yes. Is the platform type also natural language PLTW? And no, the answer is no. That's why we're seeing this error. So instead of natural language 2.0, we're going to click natural language PLTW. I don't know why it resorts back to this each time we close the program, but it does. So you're just going to have to get used to having to come and check this. So I'm going to click on it and notice our error messages go away. Okay. All right, very first thing we need to do is resave this. Remember, if you don't resave this the correct way, you will overwrite or basically delete challenge 2. We don't want to do that. So we come up to File, and what do we choose? Remember from last time? Save as. Okay, not save as macro, just plain old save as. So click on that. This window comes up. We need to make sure we are inside our My Robotics folder, okay, which is on our H drive. So what we want to do is we want to rename it. Get rid of challenge 2, put challenge 3. And we're basically adding code for a green LED light. So I'm just going to call this green LED. Simple as that. Click Save, and now notice it has a different name. And once again, to prove that we did it right, if I go to Start, and I go to this PC and I go to not test account, sorry, that's mine. If I go to your student ID number, and then I go to My Robotics, please notice it's right there. Okay, we saved it correctly. We did not delete number 2. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is change our title, add code for let's just write green LED. Simple as that. So in this one, we're actually not getting rid of any of the code. We're just adding to it. So what I want to do is I want to look for code that would allow us to add a green LED light. If we go down under Special, notice we've got some options. Turn LED on, and that's the one we want to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag Turn LED on, and I'm going to put it at the very top, just underneath the comment, because that's the first thing I want the robot to do, is to turn that light on. So drag it out, and let's go to the very top, and notice that it put it in slot 2. So now turn LED on. We need to tell it which port. Again, I'm not going to have you worry about setting up the motor ports and all that, but if you were to go to the motor ports and look under digital sensors, green LED happens to be in digital port 12. So I could leave this and it would work, because it's digital 12, but what I'm going to do is instead, I'm going to, just to keep things nice and tidy, I'm going to click on the down arrow and I'm going to tell it green LED. Okay, so we're not going to change any of this. So when we run the program, we want the very first thing to happen is we want the green LED to turn on before we do anything. So it'll turn on as soon as we hit start. Then when we press the limit switch, it'll turn the motor on at full speed. Then when we hit the bump switch, it'll turn the right motor off. Well, I also want it to turn the light off when we hit the bump switch. So I'm going to come down, find Turn LED Off, put that right at the bottom, and I'm going to select green LED, and that's the code that we need for the third programming challenge. So I'm going to come up, I'm going to click save, I'm going to click compile program, I'm going to click download robot, and the debug window comes up, and I'm going to go ahead and click start. And you can't see this because you can't see my test bed, but my green light is on right now. And then when I press the limit switch, motor comes on. When I press the bump switch, the motor turns off and the green LED light turns off. So